All right, let's take this one in. I'm also going to be recording. Give me 1 second. All right. Hello. All right, we're going to take this in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. James of the Kaiju Compendium here, and today I'm going to be doing a second interview with jtjt of the fame of, Godzilla TagTeam Fighter. He was nice enough to do a second interview, and I'm extremely excited, so let's get into it. So, question number 1. In Gojira Kaiju Daikisen, you only really have 4 buttons, 2 for light and heavy attack, 1 for miscellaneous action, and 1 for grabs. How many buttons will Godzilla TagTeam Fighter have, and what will each button do? So he said to us, it's similar to Kaiju Daikisen that you just laid out. 1 for a light to medium, another for medium to heavy, a button for grab, a miscellaneous/special button. In addition, there are 2 buttons for tagging in and out for partner 1 and 2, and another 2 for assist. So here we go. Okay. So question number 2 is at around 20 seconds into this video clip here, you can see Showa Mechagodzilla twirl his torso around, filling his harness as an attack. Is this a new move from the inclusion of more buttons than 4? Is this a new attack for just listening in, or is it something else? So let's play that video clip here. That was probably hard to see. So the answer that I got from him was, to continue from above, it's still 2 main attack buttons, but now if you press the light or heavy multiple times during its respective hit confirm, it'll go into another normal, going from light, medium, and heavy. It's just comboing into another normal in that way. It's meant to be simple. And he elaborated further with another video. He also here, and meant to be simple, there. Light to medium button for MG has 3 total normals, going from light to medium. If just pressing that button during each hit confirm, you can then go to medium heavy buttons during any of these attacks. MG has 5 total standing normals depending on characters. It ranges from 4 to 6 in this way. Crouching, some have 2 low to medium normals and then 2 button heavies. Air normals are similar in that respect as far as light to medium to heavy comboing goes, although the air game is very limited. I'd feel it would make gameplay too much and not look right for Kaiju, which is fair enough. So to any of my JUS Mugen heads out there, I'm pretty sure it's just like that. But regardless, by the way, thank you for recording that footage, JT. That was awesome. Question number 3. In Battle Legends, you have 2 buttons for attacks. That, coupled with the possibility of having more than 4 buttons for GKD characters, means you must be having to make more moves for pre-existing characters. What is the thought process going into that? How did you decide what goes where? Could you give us an example? So jtjt responded with that by saying simply just have pre-existing frames added in the rotation of those attacks. Like you explained, some had to be modified/made up of within the realm of possibility of what they could do. And there are exceptions like MG74 spinning attack is inspired from Godzilla Unleashed. But if people didn't like extremely non-canon type moves like that, I'll probably change it to something else. I try not to stay too far off the path with new attacks like Pipeworks giving Jet Jaguar laser beams and Titanosaurus an energy projectile. Trying not to do that. Uh, Deciding the order of moves was based on more what I thought felt right, but that could change depending on feedback. I think that's my favorite part about this. This is an ever expanding project with more additions and new features live. So he's going to be doing probably extremely live updates. So I think that's going to be awesome to see. Speaking of making new moves, you're going to be making slash have made full original move sets for some of these kaiju, for like a Gigan and Ava Unit 1. What is the process like for making these original moves? What goes into the design and thought process for making these original moves? And could you give us an example? I look at clips or rewatch films and just think about what they might look good doing. I would add in the moves that they do in those appearances as well. Then I also look at other games and sprite sets and take inspiration from those. I would send artists some set poses to mimic examples of actual storyboard slash references I've been given artists. So here. So you can see this is the one for Monster X. And then this is the one for Manda. Yeah, nice notes and walk cycle and everything. So he had to did he have to make the walk cycle on his own? That's interesting, and probably maybe not, but yeah, I saw this one in the video. But yep, here's Gigan's reference sheet. So very awesome. So yep, question numero 5. Speaking of making moves again, this game is going to be one of the first 2D Godzilla fighters to have multiple different versions of Godzilla with differing movesets. What was the plan going into making different moves and mechanics for each Godzilla version? What were the challenges you ran into in accomplishing this task, and how did you overcome said challenges? Eventually, it became very difficult because they just began to meld and be too similar to one another. That seemed to be the problem with making every single Godzilla version their own. It doesn't feel like it warrants each one to have its own character and take up a roster slot. Instead, I plan on having I sorry. Instead, I plan to have 6 main Godzillas and the rest just reskins depending on which of the main Godzillas it's a reskin of. The show will have one main Godzilla, the rest of the show variants are reskins. The only difference is their special move would be representative of a special move that Godzilla version did, or that version of Godzilla did. There will be 2 main Heisei ones, 84 to 92, and then the Kaiju Daikessen Godzilla from from 93 to 94. Burning Godzilla will be its own thing. For the Millennium series, I use Kiryu Goji, but any future plans for a Mir Goji or honestly even a GMK will just be reskin based as that. As far as Final Wars Godzilla goes, Cosmic. I feel like that one is unique enough that if I do add them in the future, there'd be a separate Godzilla entirely. So, again, like I said, ever evolving project. These things can be added in the future. Just because it's the final roster doesn't mean that he might stop. He might keep on going if he is gracious and awesome enough. So, and I think he also added in. Then we have Legendary Godzilla, also its own thing. Open beta will not have all reskins done, but it will have the main 6 at least. And hey, that's all we can ask for. I mean, hey, we're getting the most Godzilla fighting game of all time. JTJT, please take your time to make this as goated as I think it'll be. Anyways, question number 6. In the Mechagodzilla Generations character, you can see many different versions of Godzilla and their respective Mechagodzilla fired out. More specifically, you can occasionally see a white hit mark appear, and it seems to nullify both attacks from hitting each other, which to me seems like a clash system. Is this a clash system? And if so, how does it work? Yes, there is a clash system. In that video, it was in its early stages, so it looks and performs differently now. I think it's still a bit iffy, and it's going to depend on players' feedback on how it feels and performs in game. The clash happens when both players hit each other with a standing normal while in the middle of a standing attack normal themselves. There's a max amount of clash armor a character has, so it can't be done all the time. Both players take damage but do not go into a hit state. Here are some scenarios during this. Once a player sees that the clash is now active, they can, for example, decide to immediately go into block and push block the opponent away. Push block real, holy moly. Or if timing is right, you can hit confirm on clashes too and decide what attack you want to go from there, or you can simply keep comboing into your attack normals. Every clash incrementally pushes you away from the opponent during each hit. These are some example possibilities that I honestly am not sure will 100% work balanced yet. Again, will depend on players' feedback. Very, very interesting. Question Question 7, kind of a redo of another one, but to be honest, I really wanted to know more about it. Last time I asked you about how the beams are going to work, and this time I need more answers on it. In GKD, and to a certain extent, Godzilla Battle Legends, beams work in segments where light attacks shoot out a low amount of slow beam segments quickly, i.e., they don't take a lot of frames to start out, and heavy attacks shoot out a high amount of fast beam segments slowly, as in it takes longer to come out. Is this still the system in Godzilla TagTeam Fighter, or do the beams deliver their damage in a different way? He responded with, yep, that's basically how it works. There might be some cases where a beam heavy is slower but does more damage. I try not to complicate the projectiles. All right, so GKD heads, not much of a difference there. A big learning curve in both of the Alpha System games is learning the move sets of the kaiju you want to use, and since they aren't built into the menus of those games, it becomes up to the player to find them on their own. In this game, how are you going to rectify this issue? Will the move sets of the kaijus be built into the game? Will there be a master move list included with the download of the game, or something else? This is a very important question to me personally because it's what I see most new players to GKD say when they have negatives about it, like, I can't find the move list, or they don't figure out all their moves immediately. And that's a fair criticism. You should know your entire move set. So this was really important. And thankfully, JT has answered with there will be a built in move list you can access from the pause menu. The GOAT. This is huge. Key inputs have also been very simplified. Kaiju Daikasen is more of a slow footsie style game, so those more complex inputs worked there. In this game, since it's got way more going on, the pace is faster. There's no time to really be doing all that. For example, there's a button specifically for specials. All you need to do really for a lot of these characters is down forward special button or down back, etc. So simple quarter circles, and then they perform the special. I will also include a text file of the move list. Fucking goated. Love to see it. Question 9. With some of the comments and visuals being made in the Super X Family trailer, one will start to question the balance of the game. I tend to think that GKD is a pretty balanced game with all those odd mechanics being considered. Would you say this game's roster is more balanced or less balanced than GKD? Keep in mind this is nothing against your game. I would have an anxiety attack trying to bounce a roster of 50 plus characters in any scenario. Answer to if I try my best and put them a lot of scenarios. I don't use anything crazy like one hit kills or canonical power levels. So yes, someone like Gabra can properly fight Kaiser Ghidorah in this game. Awesome. But I am going to be completely transparent. I won't 100% know the balance until a mass amount of people pay it. Gotcha back. GTF monthlies. We're going to do it. I'm going to do my best to avoid crazy Mugen compilations levels of unbalance I have set certain limits. System-wide, I leveled the playing field. They all play to the same system, similar amount of health, energy, damage, etc. So I would like to say I want it to be more balanced, but there's way more room for error and unbalance once you involve the tag in 3v3, but I'm going to try to get it right. With that said, regarding the Super X/vehicles, I'm not going to lie, these aircraft characters are basically just an extended Easter egg not to be taken too seriously and most likely be 100% tournament banned. They definitely are a bit more difficult to truly balance in this game. Why did I make them, you ask? The answer is, well, fuck it. Very awesome. He goes on to say, honestly, if GKD didn't have the Gotengo and Battle Legends didn't have the Super X2, I would have let them out entirely. It's the fact that I went, well, might as well add those in, or else I won't have everyone from those two games, and might as well complete the Super X set. One thing to note is hit stun looks insane on that video. I didn't turn on I did not turn on the no hit stun on those attacks for it. You can see the no hit stun happening for someone who's on Super X2 and 3, though. So in the actual release, it will either not stun or stun after a certain threshold of damage the monster was received, and a cooldown to avoid spamming. But yeah, those are just one big extended Easter egg for fun, not to take too seriously. I kind of feel like that's how they also are in Battle Engines and KD case. I think he meant GKD. So I guess they kept the spirit from the other games. On that note, I felt the inclusion of Mother UFO as a character was too gimmicky and Mugen compilation unbalanced, so I have removed them completely a while ago. They may appear as just a bonus mid boss slash mini game now. All right, fair enough, fair enough. That would be quite ridiculous. In some trailers, you can see kaijus performing their ultimates in triplicate via the tag-in system. With how the super meter system in this game works, that would mean each character's wrath attack only takes 1 meter to use. Is that observation I made correct? Correct. It is. Speaking of the meter system, how does it work in a nutshell? What costs what? Build meter by attacking or being hit. Super moves cost 1 meter. Some have a level 2 super, like Adult Mothra's Badger cameo attack that costs 2 meter. I kept it very simple. Awesome. 12. In this clip here and in other trailers previously shown, you can see the stage in the black background flare red. What does this mean / what does it do? So we're specifically going to be going to around here. So we can see right around background flares red, and he is completely stunned and thrown. So what does that mean? I'd ignore it. It's just some fancy graphics I forgot to remove when a character dies. Side note, I'm aware some graphics don't look complete yet. Maybe some sloppy frames. Gradually, I'll get to adding them to look better. The open beta will probably still have some dirty frames or graphics. I have removed Bagan for this reason. Dang. Although they were only ever meant to be an onslaught type boss. Many people want an actual fighter type Bagan from feedback I got. I don't know if I'll ever add him back. Maybe the current one will only appear as another bonus boss minigame. At this stage, I don't have time to add new characters or commission them out. So I'm sorry, Bagan friends, but unfortunately, your boy doesn't have a good chance. He does have a chance, but not a good one. All right. So yeah. And lastly, any parting words for the audience at home? And he responded with, nice. So thank you all for watching this interview. Thank you for jtjt for allowing us to do a second interview. If you guys want to check out more GTF resources, go down into the description of this video, or I guess if you're watching it live, the live stream, and you'll be able to join our Discord, see all the resources, talk to all the people when it comes to GKD and Discord related stuff, and also GTF stuff. But other than that, I will be heading out. Bye-bye. So, yep, ended the recording, so there'll be a video on the channel. But, yep, I want to thank everyone else for coming out for the interview stream. I hope that answered some questions for you. And other than that, you all